Chapter 49, The Way to Eliminate Troubles and Pains. Once, when the Buddha lived in the Garden of Solitude in the Gion Grove in the Acropolis, one day the Buddha said to the monks, disciples, if you come again today to talk about the law of karma, you should listen carefully, you should think carefully. The monks replied, Sherzuan, we will listen carefully to what you say, and we will think carefully. The Buddha said, disciples, what is karma? Disciples, acting will be produced with ignorance as a prerequisite, knowledge will be produced with action as a prerequisite, name will be produced with knowledge as a precondition, 6 places will be produced with famous color as a precondition, touch will be produced with touch as a precondition, receive will be produced with acceptance as a precondition, love will be produced with love as a precondition, take will be produced with taking as a precondition, and have will be produced with taking as a prerequisite. Birth will arise, and birth as a prerequisite will produce sorrow, sadness, distress, worry, despair, aging, and death. Disciples, this is the process by which the sufferings and troubles of the world's people gather. But, disciples, what is confusion? I just don't understand that the 4 noble truths of the way of suffering and annihilation are called ignorance, and what are the 4 noble truths of the way of suffering and destruction? That is, all beings born in the world are very painful, the root of suffering is craving, and only by first eliminating craving can we eliminate suffering, and the way to eliminate suffering is to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. Disciples, who do not understand that the 4 noble truths of the way of suffering and annihilation are called ignorance. What is okay? The so-called action refers to 3 kinds of behavior, physical behavior, oral speech, and thoughts arising in the heart, and the creation and production of disciples' actions, words, and thoughts is action. What is knowledge? It is the understanding, distinction and judgment of external things, as well as spiritual thoughts, such as eye recognition, distinction, judgment of things, ear recognition, distinction, judgment of sound, nose recognition, distinction, judgment of smell, tongue recognition, distinction, judgment of taste, body recognition, distinction, judgment of touch feeling, inner cognition, distinction, judgment of thought. The disciples' understanding, distinction, and judgment of spiritual thoughts about external things are called knowledge. What is a famous color? Spirit, mind, and psychology are called names, and material things and bodies are called colors. Spiritual, mental, and material things, including the body of a person or being, are collectively referred to as names. What are the 6 places? It is the things in the outside world, the spiritual thoughts of the outside world, the places where the body and heart of all living beings in the world are in contact, and the 6 places are, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, that is, where the eyes touch things, where the ears touch the sound, where the nose touches the smell, where the tongue touches the taste, where the body touches things, where the heart touches external things and spiritual thoughts. Pay attention to the place that is only touched, not yet touched. That is to say, things in the outside world, spiritual thoughts are touched from these places by the bodies and hearts of all living beings in the world. The places where these beings' bodies and hearts come into contact with external things and spiritual thoughts are called the 6 places. What is touch? It is the things in the outside world, and the spiritual mind is contacted by the body and heart of all sentient beings in the world to produce cognition, that is, the eyes touch things and see things, the ear touches the sound and hears the sound, the nose touches the smell, smells the smell, the tongue touches the food and tastes the taste, the body touches things, producing a sense of touch, the heart comes into contact with the spiritual mind and begins to think. These are called touches. What is received? It is the feeling that all beings in the world have after they come into contact with things in the outside world, and spiritual thoughts. The feelings that the eyes produce after seeing things, the feelings that the ears produce after hearing sounds, the feelings that arise after the nose smells the smell, the feelings that arise after the tongue tastes the taste, the feelings that arise after the body touches things, and the feelings that arise after the heart touches spiritual thoughts. The disciples are called receives. What is love? That is, craving, that is, the world's people's craving for material things, the covetousness of the body, the covetousness of sound, the covetousness of smell, the covetousness of taste, the covetousness of touch feelings, the covetousness of the heart for various spiritual thoughts, disciples, these are called love. What is take? It is to be persistent, to grasp, to have greed for things in the world, to persisted, clinging to erroneous opinions that are not in line with cause and effect, attachment to abstinences and taboos that have nothing to do with liberation, attaching to the thesis that there is a real self in the world. In order to pursue and obtain these covetous and attached things and thoughts, there are physical actions, oral speech, and actual actions that generate thoughts in the heart. This is called taking. What is yes? It is the generation of karma. Good deeds are rewarded, and evil deeds are rewarded. If the actual behavior, speech, and thought is produced in order to satisfy desire, then there will be karma in terms of desire. If it is an actual act of acting, speaking, or thinking about things in the world, then there will be karma in material things. If it is an actual act that produces actions, words, and thoughts in terms of spiritual thought, then there will be karma in spiritual thought. In short, destruction, damage, harm to things, sentient beings. Then the person or sentient being who commits these acts will also be destroyed, damaged, and harmed. When disciples have karma, karma arises as being. What is birth? That is, there are different kinds of beings in the world. There are births, reincarnations, and rebirths of beings, and there are manifestations and production of worldly things, bodies, feelings, thoughts, actions, and cognitions, and the emergence of places that accommodate the existence and living of sentient beings. The disciples are called births. What is old death? That is, all sentient beings in the world will age. For example, when people in the world age, they will lose teeth, turn white, and their skin will wrinkle, and over time, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body touch, heart, and various organs in the body will slowly degenerate, and the life expectancy will slowly decrease, which is old. All beings in the world will die, and their bodies will decay and disappear. All sentient beings in the world, their eyes, ears, noses, tongues, body touch, heart, and all the organs in the body will lose their function, all will decay and disappear. These are called death. Aging and death are collectively referred to as old death. Disciples, you should think carefully, such as repeating the law of karma. Action will be produced with ignorance as a prerequisite, knowledge will be produced with action as a prerequisite, name will be produced with knowledge as a precondition, 6 places will be produced with 6 places as a precondition, touch will be produced with touch as a precondition, receive will be produced with touch as a precondition, love will be produced with love as a precondition, and taking will be produced with love as a precondition. Taking as a prerequisite will produce being, taking being as a prerequisite will produce birth, and taking birth as a prerequisite will produce sorrow, sadness, distress, worry, despair, aging, and death. Disciples, this is the process by which the sufferings and troubles of the world's people gather. Disciples, after the elimination of confusion there will be no action, after the elimination of action there will be no knowledge, after the elimination of knowledge will not produce famous color, after the famous color will not produce 6 places, after the 6 places are eliminated there will not be touch, after touch is eliminated there will be no receive, after acceptance does not produce love, after love is eliminated will not produce take, after taking does not produce have, after take does not produce have, after have is eliminated will not produce birth, birth will not arise after elimination, there will be no sorrow, sadness, bitterness, worry, despair, old age, death. Disciples, this is the process of eliminating the sufferings and troubles of the world. Only by practicing in this way can disciples be forever liberated from the torment and pain of the cycle of life and death. After the Buddha's teachings, the monks who listened to the teachings all paid homage to the Buddha again, praising the immeasurable merits of the Buddha's teachings, and they all practiced according to the Buddha's teachings.